Hello, everybody. Welcome to ICC's Game of the Week with your host, as always, Joel Benjamin. One of the nice things about the U.S. Chess League is the great number of strong players who may not be so active anymore on the tournament circuit. Zviad Izoria of the Manhattan Applesauce and formerly of the Republic of Georgia has been something of a U.S. Chess League specialist, and he started off this year with a tricky win over yours truly. Maxim Dlugy was a young star in the 80s and 90s who left the game for the world of finance. He's recently returned to tournaments and made his debut for the Connecticut Dreadnoughts. Their game was a clash of philosophies that resulted in a lot of sacrifices and ultimately the Game of the Week prize for round 2. So Izoria, playing white for the Manhattan Applesauce, yes, that's really the name that they chose, and he plays e4, which I think of him more as a more strategic player, but maybe felt that e4 is the way to go against Dlugy. Now, back in the day, Dlugy was a Sicilian player, and before that, Caracan. He played both of those openings in his career, and he did not vary from his repertoire very much. But often when players come back after a long time, they try their hand at new things, and especially now in the computer age, when it's kind of easy to prepare something quickly. So he goes for a Scandinavian. He goes for the modern form with Queen d6, and I can't say I've ever seen him play it, although maybe he's tried out in Blitz. He is, of course, quite a virtuoso in Blitz chess. As many of our ICCers get the opportunity to challenge him from time to time and find out for themselves. Now, slightly unusual move order here with the bishop coming to g4 so quickly. I'm more used to seeing knight f6, and there white has ideas like putting the bishop on d3 with the knight e4 maneuver, or also somewhat popular is fianchetto g3, bishop g4, bishop g2, and in both cases we see white getting in position to defend his pawn on d4. Well, the immediate bishop g4 is seemingly looking to actually just take off that pawn on d4, and Izoria says, well, I don't believe you can actually take this pawn and give up so much development. But if you remember seeing Dlugy play in the old days, you know that he never met a pawn he didn't want to take. He's a pawn grabber from day one, and he has tremendous faith in his ability to defend positions. So he was happy to grab this guy and this guy, no hesitation. So Izoria, first of all, gets a bunch of tempi. So at this moment, we see white with two minor pieces, a rook on open file, and a queen developed. Black has no pieces. He's moved his queen already 4 times. And, the books say that that's enough compensation for a pawn. The one thing that black does have going for him is that the position is relatively closed. The d file is open, which, of course, he blocks right now by putting the knight on d7. And the e file is closed, and he can block out the diagonal to f7 with e6, and so he doesn't have any real targets around the king. But still, white has an alarming advantage in development, and a lot of players would be very scared to try playing this for black. Interesting that when you turn on your chess engines, and every one of them gives obviously a somewhat different number for various positions. But the old stereotype of computers is that they love material, they're grubbers, they want to grab everything. But actually you'll find that computers actually give white a big advantage here. And then as they analyze more, they actually tone it down.